So this is massive. This was like literally 1,017 chapters in the making at this point. And I guess this is the origin of the rubber fruit and how the red-haired pirates got it. So we got the 1017 spoilers, and there's like a lot of amazing reveals in this chapter. So let's get into it. The title of the chapter is Order. Tama gives the order, and all those who have eaten the dango become allies of the samurai. Am I wrong in thinking that this was like already a thing, or was it not? Were they just waiting to change sides? Or were we only seeing like a small portion of the gifters that ate the dangos or something? Either way, cool, more allies for the samurai, and I'm sure this is going to cue another little dialogue session between the CP0 guys, because they've kind of been like the expositional mouthpiece with like the war update. They've kind of been like the analysts, I guess, of it. Luffy's rescue is known from some character dialogues. We don't see Luffy being rescued. Okay, so it was revealed that Luffy was saved by the Heart Pirates in like Lost Submarine, and we haven't really touched on that yet. Luffy subconsciously was able to like emit some kind of like Conqueror's Haki, voice of all things sonar, and Momonosuke was able to hear this. It was like hurting him, kind of similar to how like Zunisha's voice was. And the Heart Pirates in their submarine were able to like track down Luffy because of this, and they like picked them up. But I guess we're not getting an update on what's going on with that. I guess he's just gonna be chilling in there like he normally does. Like he usually gets like an intermission between like the big battles. Like he'll take an L and then we'll get like a break or something, and then he comes back in like round 2 or round 3 or whatever it is at that point. And then usually winds up finishing the battle. So I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen here. So he's gonna be chilling in that submarine for quite a few chapters. And I guess it's being revealed here that some of the Straw Hats are finding out that he's there, maybe, or maybe Law is getting relayed this information, but I'm pretty sure he's like fighting Big Mom with Kid. Not really sure since the text is ambiguous here. Queen transforms into his hybrid form to fight Sanji. All right, so if you've been following my coverage of the series, you'll know that I'm very excited for Sanji versus Queen, one of the big fights I've been campaigning for, because I think Sanji desperately needs this fight. And we're getting to see Queen's hybrid form, but apparently this isn't the first time, because it's being pointed out by the spoiler providers here that we actually did see Queen in his hybrid form after he was initially defeated by Big Mom. Like when he was knocked out, I guess he was in his hybrid form the whole time, and I obviously didn't notice it, but I'm sure some of you did. And considering the significance of this fight and, you know, both of their placings, I guess this is going to have some finality to it. I don't think it's going to be like a musical chairs fight like the majority of them have been in this arc so far. The 30-minute Rumble Ball has side effects in Chopper, so I assumed that something like this was going to happen. It just seemed a little too good to be true. That Chopper can just be in Monster Point for like 30 minutes, which is essentially like eternity in manga time. But it was also revealed in like a flashback that Caesar helped him develop it. So maybe Caesar has something to do with the drawbacks, or it's just simply it has to be that way. Like it's just too good, you know, for it to be 30 minutes long. So there has to be some kind of detrimental effects to it. Who's Who versus Jinbei. So we're finally getting an update on this fight. We've only kind of seen the updates in like panel increments for like the last 10 chapters or something. Who's Who is a former member of CP9 and uses his techniques. So this is like the second major reveal in this chapter, the truth about Who's Who. And I actually speculated about this a couple months back. Like, I think it was like around chapter 1005. He has that symbol on his chest, right? So like I've talked about previously, maybe Who's Who is a part of CP0 or something. And it also might explain how he like met Jinbei when he was a warlord still. And then that means that these come from CP0 possibly. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to wait for more information. Because around that time, Who's Who told Jinbei that like he knew him from before when he was like a pirate or something, and it was implying that, so if he ran into Jinbei back in the day and, you know, labeled him a pirate or something, then that means that Who's Who probably wasn't a pirate himself, and maybe he was with the Navy. And also he has like that eye on his chest. It's like the same thing that the Marys have to like do their communication power stuff. And we also saw some of the Marys like being directly connected to CP0, like what I was talking about when they have like their analyst breakdown thing. And I thought, okay, so maybe he's a part of CP0 too, or maybe the eye stuff is coming from Cypher Pole in a way. But no, he's not CP0. He's actually former CP9. And his devil fruit certainly fits the theme of like the higher ranking members, or at least, that we've seen, like pretty much like an animal thing. And that brings us to him going to his hybrid form in this chapter. He pretty much looks like Lucci in his hybrid form, just replace the leopard with like the saber-toothed tiger, and that's what Who's Who looks like. Like the proportions are almost identical. 12 years ago, he was in prison for a mistake, but then he escaped. So I guess this is implying that he's not a double agent the way that like X-Drake is. I think he's like fully like with Kaido at this point, or maybe just not allied with Cypher Pole anymore, but it's never that simple, right? And considering that CP0 is here, I wouldn't be surprised if like Who's Who turns out to be CP0 himself. He was like, yeah, I infiltrated Kaido. And then like Who's Who actually like makes it past this arc, and he winds up being with like the new super CP0 team with like Kaku and Lucci. That error is related to a devil fruit that the world government had. The mistake with Who's Who is with his devil fruit itself, or the power ability of the fruit, and it has something to do with the government. On the subject of the devil fruit that is discussed at the end, I'll give you a hint. Read chapter 1 of One Piece again. Okay, so we all pretty much know what happens in chapter 1 of One Piece, and it's the reveal of Luffy eating the rubber fruit. So this is massive. This was like literally 1,017 chapters in the making at this point. And I guess this is the origin of the rubber fruit and how the red-haired pirates got it. Because when it's revealed that Luffy ate the fruit in the first chapter, Lucky Roo is like looking through the chest and he's like, where's the fruit that we stole from the enemy ship? And of course this was chapter 1, so I'm sure everything wasn't even remotely close to being fleshed out at that point. So enemy was maybe just a placeholder, and now enemy translates to them directly stealing this from a marine ship, which possibly was Who's Who's ship. And the 12 years ago is important because Luffy was 7 when he ate the fruit, and he's 19 now. But the other things mentioned here makes it seem like the rubber fruit has like some kind of crazy significance to it, or at least the government thinks that there is. And this might go to one of like the long-standing theories that have been out there that, the rubber fruit might have possibly belonged to Roger in the past, or maybe it belonged to, Joy Boy. And that could be why Eam is interested in Luffy, or maybe that's why Kaido refer to Luffy as being a possible Joy Boy candidate. I mean, we can only really speculate at this point. But yeah, that's it for the spoilers today. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know. And if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, everyone. See you in the next one.